I have wandered along the bristly brambles, snagging threads across the thorns that hedge my way. If perchance I find the place where I might amble, where the bees and honey trees have called my name, I'll sing, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. My dreams of sewing seams had been fading, and my goals of mending holes had all but died, till the moment the bewitching stitching maiden recommended that I cast my fears aside. She sang, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. So if you find you're out of spirits, out of money, and you're walking down the dusty road alone, come with me to the realm of hope and honey. In the land of milk and thread, you'll find a home. We'll sing, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. Come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. Thread milk.
Hi FlossTube. Here we go again with another cross stitch video. A little bit of knitting, a little bit of quilting. I'm Lori Wilson with Thread Milk Design, and I have a special guest again today. This is my daughter Phoebe.
Hello.
So Phoebe's gonna kind of knit while I'm showing you stuff, and she has a couple things to show you too. So Phoebe, what are you knitting today?
I'm knitting a dish rag that you found for me in your closet to finish, and it's white with Christmas colors.
Yes, I love this yarn, but the red does bleed a little teeny bit. I did like a wash this Christmas with it with super hot water, and I think it helped it from bleeding too much. But anyway, cool. Love knitting dish rags. Love having them in my kitchen. Let's just go straight into knitting today to kind of get that out of the way. So I asked Phoebe also to model for you my shawl because I actually got it done. Took a year, but it's done.
Should I stand up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because your dress is so cute. It's going to look darling with this shawl.
Okay. So here it is.
All done. While she's getting it on, I'm going to get the pattern out. Now, I think I talked about this in my FlossTube video, I don't know, 2, 3, something like that, back in the archives.
I like wearing it like this.
Yeah, and it's so big. Mine's huge. I used a little bit of a bigger yarn than it calls for, and it just turned out humongous. This is the yarn that I got at Loopy U last Christmas. So a little over a year ago. Look how cute though. Okay, so I've been watching a lot of period pieces, and they totally wear their shawls this way, and it's adorable. And if you tie it, it stays on.
Yeah. Move around.
Isn't that cute? Your arms are kind of free.
Mm-hmm.
So I wore it to church today and loved it because I just grabbed it on my way out the door. It's cold here in Utah. It's like, what was it, 26 degrees or something at 11 o'clock. It's cold. And all I had on was this dress, no tights or anything. And I just grabbed my shawl and I was perfectly happy. You did. Let's see. Like that. Anyway, I did not get cold. So this is the yarn. That's so cute.
It's fun.
Okay, here's the yarn that I used. It is Cascade 2020. And I think it's like a worsted, but it's kind of like a sport worsted weight. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool in the color 9-8. Wow, glasses time. You guys can probably see that, but I can't. Sorry, 9635. All right, I'm going to have focus issues again because there's two of our faces on here today.
Oh.
See if you can hide for one sec. Anyway, the color is 9635. I think you can see that. Yep, there we go. So I don't know if they have any more, but when I did call Loop U to try to find more of this yarn, they did have another ball that I needed, but they also, no, actually it wasn't them, it was Lauren at Knit and Pretty, told me to check this place called Webs, I believe it is. You can call them. They have this huge stock of yarn, and sometimes you can find the, if it's not too old, you can find the same color and same lot number as something you're working on. So I totally lucked out. This is all the yarn I have left. And turned out really good.
Yeah, I like wearing it.
Yeah, Phoebe came over and she saw it on the couch and she like immediately put it on and she's been wearing it for like an hour because it's so cozy. So it was super fun. Okay, knitting out of the way. Oh wait, I gotta show you what the pattern is. It's this. I showed it, like I said before, Isabeau knits called Quills. And I believe it's on Ravelry. And I got this from my friend Paula. Paula, I know you're watching. So I'm going to show you the tip Paula gave me. She is the one that teaches the wonderful knitting classes that I go to retreat, the handwork retreat from Under the Garden Moon in November. And she told us this year we needed to get a knitting journal. So I found this cute little journal cover from this outdoorsy store that my son goes to. And I love it. So I'm going to start keeping notes of the pieces I knit with a swatch of the yarn and the tag from the yarn. And, you know, any notes I might have about it. But also any notes I get from Paula in class. This one was our Icelandic bind off, so that goes in my journal. So whenever I have all these little cool tricks I get taught or go to class and the teacher gives us, I'll put them in there and then I'll know where they're at always. I'm getting better organized in my knitting. So Paula also gave us this, the Kitchener Stitch card. But look how cute. Do you guys know what movie this is from? I kind of think it's from,
Can I see?
Oh, it's not The Bishop's Wife.
Oh.
Is it? I
have no
just
idea.
saw it over the holidays. I was watching this movie and I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, Sandy came over and we made those charms we bought from the last video that we talked about. We made a bunch of finery just for the fun of it. And she was like, wait a minute, find Cary Grant. Let's put him on a vessel with a cabochon glass cover. And we did. We totally made zipper pulls with Cary Grant knitting. How fun is that? But Paula always throws in some cute, fun thing like this in her classes. And seriously, Under the Garden Moon Retreat is worth it just to go to Paula's knitting classes. You should go if you want. It's in the end of October, I think, this year. It'll be shown pretty soon on underthegardenmoon.com. And yes, I was supposed to have Amy here this time, but because I got 6 states done and I've got a bunch of stuff coming up the next couple days, she's going to be in the next video. And it might even be like in a week or two. So you may not have to wait as long for the next video. All right, knitting done. All right, let's move on. I have some cute
I have one more
finishes.
thing about knitting
Oh, what?
that I just thought of because I found this. I saw a pattern on Pinterest that I really wanted, and then it brought me to this website. Have you heard of it? It's called
No.
Ribbler.
Ribbler? Okay,
Yeah.
show that in the camera. Put your
So
light
it's
up
a lot like Ravelry, but it has a ton of free patterns.
Nice.
So Ribbler. Oh, I don't know if it'll focus. There you
Yeah,
go.
look at that.
Ribbler. So I just found it on Pinterest, and then I found a couple patterns like a cute vest and a granny square crochet bag. So yeah,
Cute,
it's cute free
Ribbler.
patterns.
And what's the website you showed me last time? Was it Hobby? H-O-B-I-E or B-B-I-E?
H-O-B-B-I, I think.
B-B-I.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from
It's like,
Europe or the UK, but
Mhm.
they have a bunch of really cute free patterns on there too.
oh, cool. And really affordable yarn as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. So I don't know how shipping works right now with a company from Europe,
Mhm.
but the free patterns are all online. You can download them and print them out. I have a few of them. In fact, I have a really cute pullover, that chunky one that we should make.
Okay.
Sandy knows which one I'm talking about. Anyway, we looked at those last time. Oh, knitting. Knitting's really, really fun, especially wearables. Okay, so let's move on to a couple good purchases I made over Christmas. So yeah, Christmas got a little crazy, moving and all that, but I'm settled now. I'm in my new sewing room today, and I have something to show you here, and I don't have anything hung or decorated in here yet, but we'll get there. And I've set up a card table. Actually, is this better? I think spacing between us and the camera and setting up all the stuff. So, all right. I did, though, during that time and over Christmas, stitch a lot. I got a lot of small pillows and things done or almost done that I wanted. So I'm going to show those to you now. So the first one, I think I showed this in the last video, just as the cross stitch, but this is the fully finished piece. I first saw book finishes on Teresa Koget's FlossTube videos. I did on this because I wanted to try, and I have done one other finish, one from the attic last summer. I wanted to try another lacing, so where you lace the piece to mat board, and then I glued it down with Aleene's glue, and then I put it on a terry cloth towel, put another book on top, and then I had this cool old scale weight that's probably like 5 or 10 pounds that I just set on top of it and let it sit overnight, and then the glue dries, and it ends up being quite a nice flat little finish. And I didn't put glue all the way out to the edge because I didn't want it to come out, but I think it's on there for good. And this is a little French book that I got from an antique store. I can't remember which one.
Is it in French?
No, but it's
Oh.
called, how do you say that, Phoebe? You know French.
Oh, not really. Monsieur Beaucaire.
Okay.
I can't do the accent though.
You took French when we lived in Louisiana?
Mm-hmm.
It's
In high school.
okay.
But now since I've learned Spanish, I like forgot everything.
In French.
Yeah.
Even though they're kind of similar because they're Latin
Yeah.
languages, but
The pronunciation's like so hard though once you learn one.
yeah, to
Going
switch.
back to the other, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. So on this, we'll talk about French here in a second too in Louisiana, because one of the states is Louisiana. So excited for the information on that. But, you know, I told you last video, I took Vanna's advice doing my initials in the year I finished something and just slapping it on the back of it with a little bit of that Aleene's glue. So that's what that looks like. Anyway, so now I can just set this out at Christmas. So adorable. And it just stands up. So thank you, Teresa Koget. That's who I saw it from first. Okay, that's a really fun finish. This, let's see, I'll save that one for last. In the last video with Sandy, also, you guys saw she gave me this little bell. And she loaned me her pattern that I think came in the Teresa Vinette countdown, because she stitched it like you know, probably in a day and finished it. And so she gave me hers to stitch also because she had a bell that she gave me for Christmas. So that's my finish. And I stitched it with Chlorina silk on 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby that I sprayed with the primitive spray. I actually sprayed it before I stitched it, and then I sprayed it a little bit after. So it doesn't have a ton of that speckly effect. I shook the bottle really good before I sprayed it. You can hear that cute antique bell on there. Put some cute trims, ribbon from Stacy, my friend, and put velvet on the back. I think this is Sweeney from Lady Dot Creates, and it's a perfect match to Cinnabar Medium, which I think is Chlorina. Can't remember right now. But yeah, super cute. And then I put this kind of papery glitter, gold glittery rickrack around the edge. And yeah, I just glued it on. So that's done. Thank you, Sandy, for that bell. Let's see, what else did I finish? So last time we talked about the cute little mini frames you can get at the frame shop here, Renzel Studio. So I did finish this little cross stitch from Chessie and Me. It's one of the kits that she does, and got it in the frame. Now, last handwork retreat, I taught a framing class because I watched Teresa Vanette's video. I had learned like a long time ago from the gals at 3 Stitches, but Teresa Vanette's video, which I will try to link in the bottom. Sometimes I say I'm going to link something and then I totally forget. But you can also go search her channel and find her framing tutorial, and it is just spot on perfect. She tells you how to buy this little brad gun, which I have. Let me show you which one I bought. It's right over here. And I probably can link that too, right? It's Logan brand, dual drive elite brad gun. And man, is that slick. It just keeps everything in place. So you just pin the cross stitch around foam board, and then you cut matte board the exact same size and put it in there. And really look how tiny this one is. It's pretty little and cute. Oh, so what else did I tell you? Oh, I told you I was working on this one, which is La-di-da, this one, and Rudolph. So I got it all stitched. I did mine in, let's see, DMC 934 and DMC 816 is the red. But then I grabbed some onion skin from something else I was working on to do these spots on the deer and their eyes.
What's onion skin?
It's the name of a thread that's like the color of onion skin. It's one of those hand-dyed threads. And I will show you that in a minute and be able to tell you here in a second who makes that thread, because it's in another project I'm going to show you. Anyway, I loved this stitch, and it really went pretty fast. So I'm making it into a pillow. That's the back. All these pillows I'm going to show you now don't have trim on them because I didn't get them all finished for you guys, but I will soon. And yes, I'm stuffing them all with sawdust. And I'm going to tell you how much I love sawdust again in a minute. All right, so here's Winter by the Sisterhood. It's a freebie. Look at those cute little presents. Sisterhood. Oh, am I saying that whole name right? I did not grab this pattern out, but I talked about it in FlossTube number, the last one that I did with Sandy. The Stitcherhood. That's what it is. They have winter, autumn, spring, and summer. They are super cute smalls for the bowl. And Christmas. This was really endearing, actually, because my husband's name is Chris. So every time I was stitching something with Christmas in it, he wasn't home for Christmas, but it was like an endearing little fun thing for me to do while he was away. Same with those other two. This pattern is right here. It is from Jenny Hoffman at Country Rustic Primitives. It's called C is for Christmas. You can find her on Etsy. And yes, that was a Daisy K influence from last year. Such a good one. I love this one. And next, I finished Kathy Barrack's little mini Christmas sampler. And no, I forgot to grab the chart. There's the back. So cute. Look at that deer. I don't know the age, but I think this is a pretty youngster. And look, of all things, we would call that a hashtag. But it's like a little tic-tac-toe.
Mm-hmm.
Such a cute one. Such a cute, simple cross stitch. That one actually cross stitched up really fast too. And I finished last year Have a Very Merry Christmas. And I had this green velvet for the back. Oh, that just works perfect with these greens. Love that one. This is a Scarlet House pattern. And I think I gave it to someone because some of these I didn't have the charts in my Christmas file. And one more Christmas one. I loaned this to Sandy, but I'm pretty sure it's Country Rustic Primitives also. And this is one I bought last year too, but didn't stitch it till this year. And it is beautiful. Like, I really, really like her designs. She has a couple more on Country Rustic that have kind of this swirly, feathery lettering with the green in it, and I just love it. And this one actually stitched up really fast too. And then that's the back on it. I think I'll put some rustic jingle bells in the corners. I do it all the way around, but I don't have enough. I checked my finishing stash last night and I didn't quite have enough. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do the corners or get some more jingle bells. Pretty cute. And then here's some oldies. I don't know if any of you recognize this chart from Leisure Arts. I stitched this when I lived in Houston when I was going to 3 Stitches down there. And it has another little border on it with little apples. This is the one and only piece that I washed after I stitched it because someone said, oh, you should wash everything after you stitch it. So I did, and it bled. So I never washed anything ever again because I don't eat while I'm stitching, and I also don't, I wash my hands before I sit down to stitch. So I am not worried about that. I never will be. I'm not going to wash anything ever again. So I've had this in 2 different frames and then finally just cut it down again to make it into a pillow because I thought it was actually a really cute little pillow from probably 1995 Leisure Arts books. And I will definitely put a trim on this because I've got to cover up that little bit of stitching that I cut down. Anyway, oh, and it bled like right here. You can barely see it. I did the technique to try to get it out by washing it under a bunch of hot water, like super hot. And that can help wash it out. You have to, after it bleeds. Yeah. I don't think I put any soap on it or anything funky like that. Oh, but this takes me back. This is when Russell was born, before Phoebe was born. Love it. Sometimes it's fun to show these old things, right? Because you might have some of these in your stash. All right, this is an embroidery piece, and this is a segue into something Phoebe's going to share with you here in a second too. So I love embroidery too. I don't do as much of it as I do cross stitch and the other handcrafts. And I don't have the pattern. I don't know who this designer was. I kind of think she was a local Utah girl, because I think I bought this at Pine Needles a long time ago. And I had this made up in a pillow with like borders and a big ruffle. So I just decided to take it apart and turn it into a one little pillow.
It was always on your bed, right?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. And I knew I wasn't going to put it on my bed now or anywhere. I was just feeling like this needed to be in a bowl. And it's perfect for all the time, you know, to have out, or Valentine's. We'll see what I feel like. I think it'll be of more use now. So I'll get that stuffed and put trim on it. Okay, what else? Oh, I have, okay, see those on the pillow right there, those little finishes. Mm-hmm. So last video also I talked about my favorite brown thread, and someone asked, I think my voice kind of failed on me a couple times when I was saying it, because it really was hard to hear. I did answer her in the comments, but this is where I was introduced to that brown thread that in my opinion has perfect variegation in it. I love it. And this chart, I'll show you I did finish all of these, but not fully finish them. But this chart is the one that introduced me to this thread called Caterpillar. I hope I enunciated it really good. That's one of those words that can just, all the sounds can run into each other, but it's Caterpillar, made by Classic Colorworks. And that is just one of the cutest bowl fillers I've ever seen. I love this. And yes, it's for Thanksgiving, but I'm showing you right now because I just finished them. And I love them. Here they are. I did them on 36 count vintage mocha by Zweigert. It's that one that's printed on one side. Wow, I don't think I've had the show through problem before, but I'm having it tonight, probably because everything behind me is really white. So it's like a bright light back there. So there's the little sampler piece. So cute. And the red, some of you might be wondering what the red is in this. It is Manor Red, and I actually used that in one of my stay charts this time. So if you want a chart, two charts that uses one skein of thread, it would be this plus one of my state charts. There's the crow or the raven. So cute. And you can see how that brown variegates. Has kind of some rusty colors in it. Looks really stripy, kind of like right there. But I love it. And then the long skinny pillow. So my stuff, my 2 frame pieces are ready to pick up at rental. I'm going to look for one small frame in their small frame bin for one of these. See if they have one for it. When I go there tomorrow. And pick those up, and then I'll show you those finished pieces in my next video. Because we loved FFOs, right? And framed everything. All right, Phoebe. Segue into embroidery. Oh, so I talked about that. Yeah. Actually, that was a second ago, but I went ahead and went into the Caterpillar by Classic Colorworks. Okay, so Phoebe found a really cute embroiders Etsy shop. And I'll let her tell you all about it.
So I just randomly found this girl on Instagram, and I bought a pendant from her. Let me pull it up, a picture of it. So her username is called Willow_embroiders. See if that'll focus in on that, Willow's embroidery. And she just does a bunch of freehand embroidery, but I bought one of these pendants. Let's see. There's like cute little eyes or like mushrooms. There's a tooth. Spider. But it's kind of like in like an embroidery hoop that she makes into a necklace pendant.
It looks like those.
I have that one. I bought it.
Oh,
That cute little oblong oval.
Yeah, those mini ones. I have seen those at Hobby Lobby every once in a while. And the watch, the round one looks like that watch that you can get there.
Like a
old-fashioned.
What do they call this? Russell has one.
Chain? Chain watch? No, that's not what it's called. What's it called? It's a
Pocket watch.
Pocket watch.
There
we go. There we go.
So here, let me see.
There you go.
So this is the one that I bought that I got in the mail. And I just tagged her on Instagram. That cute little oval. Embroidered mushroom necklace.
Cute. And
so,
that's
yeah.
Willow_embroidery.
Or if you just type in Willow's embroidery, it should come up. She's pretty new to making those pendants, but she has been making like embroidered hats. Like this one has a cool like mountainscape. Or there's even some funny ones, like this one is from Squid Game, if any of you have watched that new TV show.
Tilt that a little bit. Forward, maybe.
Forward? There we go. Squid Game symbols, cool stuff like that. Fun little designs. And then she's even made... Here, I'll show you this one. This is a reference to a TV show from Cartoon Network called Over the Garden Wall, which actually sounds a lot like Under the Garden Moon. So there's just cute little characters that she makes, and they're so cute. And she doesn't have a ton of followers yet, because she just kind of started with these, like, she also makes patches and stuff. But yeah, you guys should check her out.
Okay, I've got her written down here. What was the other one you just showed us? Ribble?
Oh, Ribbler.
Ribbler, what's that again?
R-I-B-B-L-R.
L-R. Okay, oh. And that's, it's its own website. Is it ribbler.com?
Yep.
Ribbler.com.
Look at this cute vest.
Okay, I'll put that in the notes below, too. Oh, that's cute.
Right.
That's way cute. You can show them that, too.
Okay. It's a cute free pattern I got. I forgot which way I need to tilt it.
I think forward. There you go. Cute. That'd be so cute with a white blouse underneath it. Like a white shirt with the tails hanging out. So cute. What else did I say I was going to link from Amazon? We'll look it up. I'll figure it out. I know you're all yelling at me right now.
The thing you said you're going to link below?
Yeah.
And you hope you remember?
Yeah.
It was for Sharon stitching or something. One of the patterns. I forgot.
I'll go back and watch this. That's what I can do. I'll get it. Okay. Let's see. Let's move on to... I'm not going to do whips quite yet. Did I do all my finishes? Yeah, we'll do whips in just a second. Let me cross off some stuff here. What I am going to do is highlight a designer. I like doing that because it's just a way of each of us sharing some of our favorites that we love their designs. And I met her. This is Jan Alexander. I met her at the attic. Sweetest, sweetest woman. Hi, Jan, if you're watching. Can't wait to touch base with you again. What I have been looking for forever. Actually, I think I had it in my Etsy cart for a while from other stores, but I didn't realize she has her own Etsy store, and it's called Tree of Life Samplings.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and she has some really, really cute designs, and the one I've been looking for, but I'd never seen all four in one place, other than on Etsy. So, penny prims is what they're called, and there's winter. And, sorry, got to get rid of something there. And there's one for every season. This one is summer needfuls. Look how cute those are. And it's a dual chart. There's a spring. And there's a fall or autumn. And it's actually down in my bag to go get kitted that I keep by the back door. Kind of dangerous. Anyway, I want to do all four, so go look her up on Etsy. Tree of Life Samplings. The other really fun Etsy shop for trims and all kinds of cool things was introduced to me at the attic too by Linda. It was one of the charts we got to finish. I actually did finish mine, even the queen stitch. And now I need to make it into the mattress, it's called. So her mattress design is so cute. Those of you who went to the attic know, and I mean, I'm dying to get this one done. This is one that's going to be finished here pretty quick. She gave us a ribbon for the mattress, and this is the edge that goes around the mattress. I think this is like someone's handwriting, right? It's like stamped.
That's cool. Handwriting
or printed handwriting trim that's been coffee and tea dyed, and it's a twill tape. And so anyway, the shop is called Monahan Papers that she got this trim from. So she's the one that introduced me to Monahan Papers. So I went on their Etsy shop and ordered a few things. This is one of those ribbons that you can get at Knot and Spool. And Stacy gave me a piece of it at Christmas time. But this one's been coffee dyed. And I've had this sitting around to show you guys for a while, since like November. Here's one that's butterflies. It comes with these cute like French paper wraps. Look at those. Aren't those cute?
Those are way cute. It's like ribbon paper or fabric.
Yeah, feel it. It's like twill tape fabric. And I think she's like dyed it, and whatever her method is. I don't know what it is, if it's tea or coffee. But yeah, super cute. And then I bought some ribbons. So these are those silk ribbons that she also dyed to look antique. And they are really cool. I mean, it might be kind of hard to see it in this lighting, but you can see there's some browns, splotches, and things on them because they have been dyed. And then she just sends them to you all crinkled up like this. Oh, totally worth it too because they're cheap. I mean, I think each of these was like $3.60 or something.
Nice.
Hope I'm not getting that wrong.
From the same Etsy shop?
Yes. Nice. Monahan Papers. Yep. So fun. So, yeah, super anxious to use this twill tape that Linda Vincent, is that her name? I hope that's right because I loved this project. Is there anything else over there from her? Hand me that plastic bag laying flat on the yellow chair right there because that's, yeah, hand me that whole wad. Okay. Yeah, so this, put that, yeah, I'm going to show that with that pillow, my stitching pillow. Linda at needlemade-designs.net. So this is what one of our little free projects was, the Helen Murray pincushion. And this was just a portion of a great big red and green Scottish sampler that we also got the chart for. I want it. Yes, I did get that right, kind of. Linda Vinson, Vinson. Kind of like Wilson.
Nice.
Spelled the same vowels. Okay, so watch for this one to come out. It's red and green. It's beautiful, and I'm sure she'll be releasing it this summer sometime. But yeah, this fill-in part is all queen stitch and satin stitch, I think. Yeah, these little holes are all queen stitch, and I don't know if I can get it up there that close enough for you to see it. Oh yeah, there you can kind of see it. And then I think the bigger leaves are satin. Anyway, I absolutely loved stitching this. I can't wait to get to the bigger piece. And I'll show you my finish. Probably in the summertime. Hopefully sooner. Just so you can get excited about stitching that bigger, the bigger sampler by her. Okay.
You know what I should have brought is my finished Dr. cross stitch that I did. Next time.
Okay, next time Phoebe visits,
I'll bring my cross stitch.
She'll bring her cross stitch. So her husband, yeah, tell him your husband's name and like where he's going to school and stuff, and why you did that doctor cross stitch.
So my husband's name is David Mateos. He's downstairs watching TV right now at my mom's house. He's in med school at the University of Utah. He's about to start his 4th year of med school and also doing an MBA. So he took a gap year between 3rd and 4th year of med school to do an MBA, and then this fall he'll start his 4th year of med school. And then we'll go to residency. So
Such a hard worker.
yeah,
You both are.
thank you. He's probably a harder worker. But we found a pattern at, what's it called in Provo?
Heinzelman's.
Heinzelman's?
Was it the knitting store? Yeah, back when they had cross stitch. They don't have cross stitch anymore.
Yeah, they were going out of business, or they thought they were. And so they had a sale on a bunch of patterns. So there's one that is really, it's kind of like totally 90s color scheme.
But it's
design.
so perfect.
It
for
just says
him.
like doctor, and it has all these cute little like symbols, like a syringe and a medical bag and a band-aid. Just random stuff.
Yeah.
And like a little diploma that says MD on it. So it's just all like blocked, these little cute pictures. So yeah, I just cross-stitched that, and next time I'll
You have to bring it.
bring it. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got a little Quaker to show us and
A
like
beehive.
2 or 3 other really cute things you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phoebe she takes to handwork so fast.
Thanks.
Like, and I taught you when you were young too. She's actually pieced a quilt also, like, so she knows how to piece. And I haven't taught you how to hand quilt yet. But knitting, how old were you when I taught you knitting?
We were living here, so probably like
So
10.
before Louisiana
Yeah,
or before Quincy?
before Illinois,
Before Illinois.
probably like 9 or 10.
Yeah, because you turned 12 there. So yeah, so like 10, she learned how to knit and quilt and cross stitch later.
That was later when I was an adult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's kind of one of those natural, like, I love handwork kind of people.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, but I did embroidery.
Oh, yeah.
I did some pillowcases. Did I finish those?
Oh, that's right.
I don't think
know.
I did.
I don't know where those are.
But yeah.
Like Grandma Peggy. She does, my mom does embroidery. In fact, let's just go straight there with the embroidery. So this quilt ladder I had my husband make me because my son Russell was making one for his wife Carly, who wanted one, and we made them for $10.
Dang.
$10, I know. And I was like finding them for 80 and 100 and all this, and anyway, found a DIY on Pinterest to make that. So the boys made us ladders. They're super easy. And I wasn't thinking of this at the time. I just said, just put 4 on it, you know, whatever looks spaced evenly, and we just set the rungs. But then, so I was at my mom's house last summer, and I was pulling out these old quilts because I didn't know the stories on them, or like who made them or anything. I just knew my mom had them. And while I was looking at them and enjoying them, I was going to take pictures of them for FlossTube, or, you know, just for posterity's sake. My mom said, well, do you want to just take those and fix them? Because they both had holes in them. They both had some problems. I rebound this one and kind of just stitched over the top of some of these fabrics that were totally disintegrating, just to be able to keep them in place. And anyway, then she proceeded to tell me the stories about them. Well, this one has embroidery on it that is really, really cute. That was done by my mom. That her and I pieced it, and I embroidered some of them, but she likes embroidery so much, she finished it for me. It's kind of like, that's her handwork. And then this one is a bow tie that I pieced. So this is, and turned out to be, a 4-generation quilt ladder. So this one's mine, and I put the bow tie one there because this is actually a big bow tie quilt also. So it was kind of like 2 bow ties. It's my weird thinking. This one embroidered by my mom. This one pieced out of old clothes, hand quilted by my mom's mom. And then this one,
Is that Viola?
yes, Viola, they called her.
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe's mother-in-law's name is Viola.
Violetta.
Violetta. Violetta, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And my great-grandma's name is Viola. So it's kind of a family name.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll have a Violet. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
I don't know if they're thinking
My
about that
niece's
name.
middle name is Violet. Sylvia.
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
Okay, so her husband's sister has a baby.
And Leilani's middle name is Violet too. My
Is it
sister-in-law.
really?
Mhm. I think so.
So Letty.
Or Violetta. Sorry.
So if Letty's watching, there's our Violet, Violetta, Viola history.
There you go.
We have a lot of it on our side, on my mom's side, and David's side.
And apparently,
Cute.
I look just like Viola, right?
You do.
Because there's like
Yes.
this app, Family Search.
Or is it Ancestry? I don't know which one does it.
I can't remember which one it was. But it matches, you just take a selfie and it matches you to which ancestor you look like. And it was so creepy because I look just like her.
You do.
Like same everything.
Exact eyebrows, exact mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, face shape, everything.
Yeah, we should pull up a picture.
We should pull a picture up. So Grandma Viola, of course, is Nola's mother. And Grandma Viola made these quilts just to earn, make money. My mom talked to Nola's sister Bonnie, and Bonnie told us the story actually of both of these quilts because my mom couldn't remember all the details, but especially of Grandma Viola because Bonnie remembered that Grandma Viola made these star quilts out of clothing for people for like wedding quilts. So my mom wanted one of these quilts for her wedding, so Grandma Nola paid her mother Viola to make this quilt for my mom and dad on their wedding. And it's beautiful, like this, it's a great big Texas star. So I think what I'll do is take these off and take pictures of them and hopefully either put them at the end of the video or the beginning. You already saw them. I don't know. We'll see where I decide to put them in so you can see all the pictures from it. But how fun. I mean, this is just, I knew my Grandma Nola really well. Knew she was a sewer and a quilter. In fact, I have a really cute little sewing book that my mom kept for me that was my Grandma Nola's. It was like an instructional cute little book called Lorraine's Method something. But I can't wait to I'm hopeful, right, that we'll meet our ancestors someday, but that I can meet Grandma Viola. She also made really good pies. And we're a pie family. We love pie, right? Not
Some
we
of
won't
us.
eat cake, but that's right. We played a game
We
one
had a
night.
heated debate. Pies versus cake.
That's right. We had a pies versus cake
My
debate.
thing is like cake can have fruit in it,
Mhm.
but pie can't have cake in it.
That's true.
So
Unless
cake
you
is
make-
best of both worlds.
What pie is it that is cake? Is it the Boston?
Boston cream? No, 'cause that's just like a.
It's a cream pie.
No, I think it does have cake in it. Actually, I don't know.
Is it the one that has the cake on the bottom
I think so.
and then cream on the top? So there is a pie that can have cake, but it's not often. Anyway, what won? Pie or cake? Which got the most votes?
I think pie did because Dad was like, he. The deal breaker was chocolate Hershey. What's that one that he likes?
Hershey bar pie.
No, coconut cream pie.
Oh,
His
yeah.
Dad's favorite.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh yeah, pie for sure."
Wins over.
And I lost the
Texas sheet cake.
debate.
Was that the one we were comparing, like
Mhm.
chocolate sheet cake or something? And yeah, so pie won. It got the most votes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I grew up on pie. Like, if we had a birthday, we could choose. What do you want? Cake, pie? Really, it came down to what kind of pie do you want, because we all loved pie so much. So my mom made really good pie crust out of lard that you could buy at the meat market, and it really does make the best crust ever.
Nice.
Anyway, so I'm a pie girl, especially cherry pie.
I like cherry pie.
And apparently Grandma Viola made the best pies in town. My mom's favorite color is turquoise right there. So I'm sure that's why Grandma Nola put that in this quilt. And yeah, I'll show you those in a little bit. All right, let's move on. A little bit of family history. Okay, I did that. Sorry, I gotta look down here at my notes. Okay, we had some giveaways last time. Again, I love doing giveaways because then I get to communicate with some of you viewers in the comments and whatnot, and it's so fun. I pulled these, or ran the random YouTube comment generator earlier today, and already contacted these two ladies, so they know what they're getting already. The linen, this brown dove stitch linen, oops, sorry, which is this one, super modeled. And yeah, it's a printed linen. That goes to Counting Cross Stitches. And then the other giveaway was the last 4 states that I produced and released way long ago, like in November. I still apologize, you guys, for the delay, but life happens.
It's okay, Mom.
So, Sandy Kilpatrick, it's okay. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Of course it is.
I struggle with that one. Sandy Kilpatrick won the next 4 states, which are Connecticut, Montana, Texas, and Massachusetts. So, Sandy, those are, and Counting Cross Stitches. Oh, I'm trying to remember your name. I just read your emails. They'll be on their way to you shortly. And the new giveaway. So, there'll be the new charts, which I'll show you in a bit. But I also had a really nice friend, Lisa. Thanks, Lisa. She and I exchanged a couple patterns this year because I bought 2 of something. And I asked her when I was at retreat, do you have this? Because I bought 2 of it. Do you want it? Anyway, so we kind of got going back and forth on, well, I actually have 2 of this one. Well, I have 2 of this one. She goes, and I can't remember. I think she bought it from me, or I can't remember, gave it to her. But she's so sweet. She said, no, I have a bunch to send you too then, because I've done the same thing. We all know we've done that, right? It's a cross-stitch world thing. Sometimes we just get all antsy and we're like, oh, I need that. And then you buy it and you forget you already had it.
Also, I just realized I've been subconsciously using my middle finger to pull this yarn, so I'm sorry. I did not mean to just like stick my middle finger out in the video. Please ignore.
Oh, that's funny because it's just one of those things we do in knitting. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Lisa said, I've got some stuff that I double bought, like maybe even triple bought, and I'm going to send them to you and you can use them for giveaways. I just realized there's 2 of these in here. Oh my goodness, Lisa.
Ooh.
Okay, so do you want one?
You do your thing. It's okay.
It's a calendar to keep track of your stitching.
Yeah.
I'll get
Someone
you one
else will
next
put it
year.
to better use.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next year we'll get you one too, because then you can start in January.
Okay.
I have not been keeping mine up yet. I'm going to have to go back and then also just write, cross out some days maybe. I don't know. So if you haven't got your book of days yet, I've got 2 copies to give away. 1 and 2. Lisa, thank you so much. Does that mean you bought 3? It might. I don't know. Awesome. Okay, so she also included this, which I already have this pattern. She gave me several things, and she said keep some and stitch them yourself or give them away. So there are some I'm keeping because there's some really cute stuff. We all know I have this one because I'm working on the early Americans. And in fact, I just finished Paul Revere, so I'm not going to show you that finish today. This beautiful, see if I can get the glare just off there. Welcome with these little cotton blossoms. And, oh, this really cute la-di-da Christmas stitch with that little bird. Okay, so I think what I'll do is, should I do 5 giveaways? I was going to do a bonus and just, okay, here's what I'm going to do. These 3 charts are going to go in the bag with one of the book of days, and this will be what's called the bonus bundle giveaway. So you need to use the word bonus in your comments to get the charts plus a book of days. And then this will be by itself as a giveaway. Just use the word days. I better write that down. Okay, and then the state charts use the word splendor. So that'll lead us right into those. So I can show them to you. Some of you have probably already seen them on Instagram, but I want to show them to you here to talk about them. So you all know that inside the chart has the information listed, plus a few more just interesting facts about the state.
I don't think I've seen this yet.
But you haven't yet? But when I introduce them on my videos, I like to tell you why what's on them is on them. Oh, and I also brought over from the tray the two cute, I think they're cute. I mean, I had so much fun designing these and stitching them. These are the freebies that are on my website. Just go to Cross Stitch Charts, and then there's a tab called Freebies underneath there. So there's the Liberty Bell. And I did finish the Mayflower date when they left their port in England. So that one's all cute. And then these are the fabrics I put on the back. I thought that was very fitting for, you know, blue ocean. So those are the freebies. All right. Am I going to remember the order? I might remember the order. Okay, so the next one coming up is Maryland. Maryland is called the Free State. I had that monarch butterfly, but decided to not put it in the chart. It just did not look good. I wasn't happy with it, so I picked it out and put free here. Of course, its year of statehood was 1788. It's the 7th state. It's one of the 13 colonies. The black-eyed Susan is its state flower, and the Baltimore Oriole, or the Oriole, is their state bird.
Do you always put the state bird?
Not always, but sometimes, because they're really cute.
Yeah.
Right? It's just fun to throw the bird
like
on.
Plant.
Yeah. Okay, so next, I think I stitched these out of order because I was waiting for a couple threads. Yeah, even if they're out of order, doesn't matter. Okay, so Illinois. We lived in Illinois for a little bit in Quincy on the Mississippi River, bordering Iowa and Missouri. So we got over to those states a quick bit. Illinois is known as the land of Lincoln because he lived there, served there.
He was born there too.
I don't know if he was, because it says in some places it's Kentucky.
Oh.
And when Christopher lived in Kentucky, he said that they kind of go back and forth. Where was he born? You want to look it up? Okay, Phoebe's going to look it up. But because he served so much of his political years in Illinois, they're in Springfield.
Kentucky.
Is it Kentucky?
Yeah, as well.
Well, they're, you know, between Illinois and Kentucky, they probably, I don't know. We'll just assume that that's confirmed finally. So, Land of Lincoln was the 21st state in 1818, and their state bird is the cardinal, which we all love cardinals. And then this tower represents the tallest skyscraper in the nation.
Oh.
And when it was built, it was called the Sears Tower. The Sears Company contracted to have it built. They wanted it to be like the largest and the tallest and all this, you know, grandeur about it. The FAA came into play because of the height. They said it couldn't be over a certain height. So to the tip, it's like 1,700 something feet, and to the top here is 1,400 something.
That's in Chicago?
And it's in Chicago, and now it's called the Willis Tower. And I'm sure I saw it that day I went to Chicago with Abby and Jen.
Did too.
Oh, that's right. You've been there with David. But I didn't really know to look for it.
So, I just saw the bean and
the bean's cool.
The river and the wood's cool.
Yeah. And the lake. When I went, it was April, and it got to be like below 30 degrees. Super serious wind chill.
I went in February.
Oh my word.
It was terrible.
So
It was like 10
cold.
degrees and windy the whole time.
Wind just knocks you right out, right? It's just so hard to do anything in it.
Yeah, it was really snowy too.
Because wind chill factor and snow. Well, the year that I went there with Abby and Jen, they were what did she come for? They weren't graduating that year. We just went because we lived in Quincy and it was a fun friend trip. You did want to go so bad. Anyway, we got there, had fun. I think we stayed for like 2 nights and then drove back home to Quincy on a Sunday. And no lie, well, this was the year all those tornadoes happened. It was the year we had a horrible windstorm in Quincy and knocked down all kinds of trees. I thought a tornado. Well, it was like over 100-mile-an-hour winds, and we had serious amounts of power outages and trees that we had to do cleanup and all kinds of stuff that you just normally don't have in Quincy. Although there was a tornado in Lima. Is that what that little town's called? There have been tornadoes there, but it's a little hillier there. It's not flat like some of the tornado states. Anyway, scariest night of our lives because we had to, do you remember that? I woke the kids up. We ran to the basement and slept down there with Abby because she was down there. And we didn't have any power. And all I knew is I was hearing a freight train. It was the loudest wind.
Yeah, it was weird. And it was like neon green outside. Even though it was dark, it was like midnight. It
was green. It was weird. And our ride home from Chicago that spring, we had green skies also. We went from 30 degrees in Chicago to 80-something degrees in Quincy. In just that short ride. And the skies were green. It was really weird. It's also the year that the Joplin, Missouri tornado hit and the Tuscaloosa, Alabama tornado. It was a bad summer for tornadoes. Speaking of which, I've been watching documentaries on YouTube about tornadoes. Another really bad year was 1953, I guess, in Michigan. Some bad ones hit. Anyway, so scary, such destruction. So because we lost power, Russell, my little scout, found the crank radio that doesn't need batteries and flashlight. It's like a dual piece of equipment. And he cranked it up and we were able to hear the news on the radio of what was going on and what had happened. So tip of the day, get a hand crank radio flashlight because it came in handy that night. Probably the last time we used it, but glad we had it. It never goes bad because there's no batteries in it. So
now we just have the internet.
Yeah, now we have the internet. But what if your internet goes down? Because the wind, I don't know. It was pretty awesome. And there's still our radio weather reports. Okay, did that one. Just throwing everything in a pile over here. Like we do. Okay, next I'm going to go to South Carolina. Yeah, this one was really fun to do because in the research I found out South Carolina's state color is indigo. So a lot of the plantations, what have you, farms now still produce indigo, which is a plant that's used for dyeing fabric. And we learned about that when we lived in Louisiana. Do you remember going to that plantation that talked about indigo?
I don't remember indigo.
Indigo, yeah. I think it was at the Destrehan plantation because we went there a couple times. The first time they talked about indigo being farmed. Anyway, how could we not? So I called Terry at Shepherd Bush and I said, Terry, is there a thread called indigo? And she's so awesome. You guys, if you need anything, call Shepherd's Bush. She knows her threads. She said, I'm not sure. That one doesn't sound familiar. So she just buzzed around the store while she was on the phone with me and went to the silks because there's not a cotton that was called indigo. She got to the silks and found that there was a Belsois Chlorina called indigo, but she didn't have any. So I called Acorns and Threads and they had some and sent it to me. But it did delay me like 4 or 5 days to finish. Because I was bound and determined. I could have used a substitute and said try Belsois indigo, but I really wanted to use the real thing for you guys and for my pillow. So that is indigo. And it has this really interesting, almost like blue transfer wear dish look to it. It's almost kind of stripy when it comes up, meaning like little teeny sections of light, dark, when you pull it off your strands off. So it's just a really interesting dye.
Is it dyed with indigo?
I don't know. So I haven't called Classic Colorworks to say, is this a real like indigo dye? I don't know. I don't know what kind of dyes they use or anything, but it's official. So South Carolina was the 8th state, one of the 13 original. 1788, again, there were several states, once again, 1787 and 1788, who became states. That palm tree right there is the palmetto. That's its state tree. And that basket represents the baskets that are still woven today with sweetgrass. And that is an art that was brought over from Africa. And there is still a concentration of basket weavers, sweetgrass basket weavers there in South Carolina. Goals. I want one. Don't you?
Yeah.
For all of us basket collectors. And we love baskets as stitchers too, right? They're a great project holder. So fun, South Carolina. I wanted to go there for a while anyway, just to kind of visit the historical sites. South Carolina is where most of the battles of the Revolutionary War, more battles than any other state, were fought in South Carolina. So it's got a lot of history. Yeah. So let's go into Louisiana now, since we just talked about the indigo plantation in Destrehan, which is near New Orleans. The thing about Louisiana and a lot of the states in the South is that there's still a lot of plantation history, which is fascinating. It's very fun to go learn. So Louisiana. Back in the time, or the day, when Thomas Jefferson agreed to purchase the Louisiana Purchase, we also learned this at Destrehan, because they have a picture of Thomas Jefferson and Napoleon Bonaparte in kind of this, like, not a basement room, but this kind of, like, cold rock storage room that they told us about the treaty between Thomas Jefferson and Napoleon, and that was that these aren't still in place. Well, no, some of them are still in place today. But he wanted 3 things, and I can't remember what one of them is, but one was that the state its main language needed to stay French. That's eventually was dissolved in the early 1900s or so. So it's no longer the main language. But about 15% of the people in the Lafayette, where we lived, and parishes around there still speak French. So there's, I would say
Cajun
that's
French.
Cajun French, Creole French. And the accent there is like no other place.
I can't
in the
replicate
country.
it either.
No.
It's so hard.
My husband can, because he works with a lot of locals, so he's pretty good at replicating their accent. But when we moved there, our kids were told they had an accent.
Yeah.
Which we did.
And like everyone in my middle school classes, they're like, "Why you talk like that?
Why you
Like,
talk? Why you say that?"
Girl, you got an accent.
Girl,
I'm like that. I'm like,
it's
you have the accent. It's not me.
that's the fun part about living in different places, right? The country, because you just learn so much about each other. Anyway, it was a blast living there. Lafayette, or Louisiana, is known to have a festival celebration every weekend of the year. They are a party state. They're kind of like Brazil, one of those party countries. But yeah, you can go to Louisiana and have a good time. Right. Car insurance there, though, through the roof.
I didn't know that.
I don't even know if we want to talk about that, but it's basically because there's a lot of accidents there. Anyway, we found that out when we moved from Utah there, and our car insurance like doubled, maybe tripled. Anyway. Oh, and it's not because, well, I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
Talk about the red stick reference.
Yes. Okay, so red stick on here is the English translation for Baton Rouge, which is the state capital. And that literally means red stick. So the way it got its name is explained in the chart, but it's so interesting. It was the natives, the Native Americans who lived there on the banks of the Mississippi River, I think on the Baton Rouge side. So after you go and pass through a Atchafalaya basin on that super long bridge, you eventually get to the Baton Rouge side of Mississippi. And there were some French explorers going down the Mississippi River, and they saw this big, huge red, like cypress tree sticking out of the ground. And so there were two tribes of natives, one on one side of the stick and one on the other side of the stick. And they marked the boundary or the line between their two hunting grounds with a red stick. And the reason it was red is because they coated it with animal blood and furs.
Cool.
Like, this is hunting space, so don't trespass, don't come here. And, you know, you stay on your side and hunt, and we'll stay on our side and hunt. So the French saw that, and of course are like, you know, les bâtons rouges, and just like, what is that? What is going on here? So anyway, the name stuck, and that is exactly what it means. And Louisianians still refer fondly to Baton Rouge as the Red Stick. So the fleur-de-lis is a sign of purity. The Catholic religion's pretty big down in southern Louisiana. You will see the fleur-de-lis everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. You can get anything made in a fleur-de-lis. Clothing, earrings.
Oh, everything.
Furniture.
Rings. Wedding rings.
Rings. Yes, everything. It's very, very prevalent there. So, yes. And, you know, we had to put "we" on there. Yes. In French. So the year they became a state was 1812, and they were the 18th state. Now, this is my first attempt at slanted lettering. Of course, I only did it on part of the square, the state. And the other thing, I stitched it in silk. So this is Chlorina Dutch red silk. And, you know, silk is really fun to stitch with. It does fill in a little bit thicker than the cottons. And I figured, you know, we've all had French silk pie or frosting. So, you know, and the French are, you know, they're a little fancy, right?
I think so.
I think that's what we kind of all think of France, is just this very romantic, beautiful kind of lifestyle thing. So I went with silk in this one again, but I definitely did a conversion to DMC and overdyed floss for this one. We think fondly of Louisiana. We spent 5 years there. My husband still works there in Broussard, just right there by Lafayette. And we have some very fond memories. Oh, so fun.
Mostly fun.
Yes. It was hard on our kids. They were in junior high, but we found a great high school for you. It was probably ECA, Early College Academy.
Yeah. The best.
Woo! Saved the day. And our daughter Abby was probably hardest on because she was a senior. We moved her there the year she started her senior year. I know, bad parents, whatever you want to say, but we were all together under one roof with our dad, right? Mm-hmm. So that made it very worth it. Very nice. Okay, next state. It's getting to be a long video. New Hampshire. It is referred to, let's see. Oh, I thought this was a different one. The Line State is also the Free State. That's Maryland. New Hampshire, another 1788. The 9th state, another 13 colony flag. Its motto is "Live Free or Die," which is a famous quote that I can't remember who said it at this moment, but it's in the chart. Its state bug is the ladybug. And its state fruit is the pumpkin.
It's a fruit?
Did you know pumpkin was a fruit?
No. It's a gourd. Isn't it?
I thought it was a vegetable, but because it grows on a vine, like the tomato, it's fruit. And that's what Google says. That's what Google said. And, you know, you can't have a state fruit, the pumpkin, and not put it on one of these state charts. But live free or die is quite a, you know. I think that quote right there tells us what the revolution was all about, right? And the Revolutionary War. Because they wanted to just live free more than anything. They were willing to die if they couldn't. All right, so Iowa is last. And every time I say Iowa, I think of the Music Man. You are in Iowa. Do you remember Music Man?
Yeah.
That was kind of like our family show growing up. Anyway, Iowa. Iowa's state colors are red, white, and blue. And their flag is red, white, and blue going this direction. So I had to do red, white, and blue and stitch it that way, right? To represent its state colors. So yes, we get another bunting at the top, red, white, and blue. 1846 is the year it became a state, 28th state. And its motto is long, but I love it. So I had to stitch it on here, had to design it on here. Its motto is, our liberties we prize and our rights we will maintain. I like that one. And after I got it all designed, there was a little bit of a hole right here in the design that I took to Shepherd's Bush. I said I need a little teeny star charm. And that's the one I found. So if you want that charm, the information for it is in the chart. And it is tiny. Look how little it is. You can put a bigger star if you want there. You don't have to put this star. But it's made... You could stitch a star. Yes. So I thought a star was fitting though with the red, white, and blue theme. Because it's a star on the flag. Iowa is, right? On our nation's flag. So there you go. Jupiter makes this star. A company called Jupiter. And the number is in the chart. All right. Oh, sometimes I forget to show you guys the cute packs. This is a Riley Blake fabric. If any of you remember that from last fall, summer it came out. All right, done with those. So that's the next giveaway. Those 6 states, 1 chart of each. Use the word splendor in your comments. All right. Phoebe, what do we want to do next? Got all the way through there. Okay, all right. We're going to talk thread milk, then we're going to talk some movies, and then we're done. Okay?
I was thinking
It's time to wind up.
I could find some buttons, maybe on my trip, and then you could give them away.
That would be so fun. Okay, so Phoebe and David are going to Paris for their spring break. They got some really cheap tickets about September.
6 months before.
And Phoebe's always wanted to go to Paris since she were a little girl. She's been talking about it.
That's why I took French in high school, but then I wish I took Spanish because I married into a Spanish-speaking family. But
yeah,
that's okay.
But that's a whole nother adventure too. That's wonderful and so fun. So Phoebe's saying she might bring back a little pouch of antique buttons from France.
Or maybe, I don't know, whatever I find that would
be so cool.
Yeah.
All right, Phoebe, thank you. The viewers are going to be so happy. Of course, I already said I wanted like some buttons too, so I might get some in there.
I've heard that the week that we're going is really good for, like, there's like an antique, it's not a road show, but it's like a road show where you can just buy a ticket to go in and shop, and then there's also a bunch of flea markets. So I'm excited.
I'm not really a jealous person, but I am right now. It's going to be so fun.
Excited.
So fun and so exciting.
And we're going to see Aunt Shauna.
And yes, my husband's aunt lives there, Aunt Shauna. That'll be so fun.
She retired to Paris.
She did. How cool is that? She is a dancer from New York, costume sewer, designer. I'm not sure. She probably designed them too.
That's cool.
Anyway, lived the New York City life, raised her family there, and then retired and moved to Paris.
The dream.
The dream. Who doesn't have that dream? So Aunt Shauna, yeah, we love you. We miss you. Haven't seen you for a really long time. But Phoebe will be coming your way soon. Okay, will you pull up that picture of those stickers that that I just sent you. So my friend Michelle has done some model stitching for me, and I gave her thread milk and the threads and had her wind it with her thread milk 9-inch ruler and get them all prepped so that, so they look like this. So she could stitch my models for the Halloween and the For the Bowl series Turkey Tavern. She did both of those for me. And when she gave me back the threads and the pillow, the stitch pieces so I could finish them, I noticed how she was labeling her thread milk. And the reason is because, I think, anyway, this is the best way to enjoy your holiday thread milk. So we've done Christmas thread milk, which you guys all saw last year. We have a fun bit of more holiday thread milk coming up. The first one's Easter. And here's a sample of it, and I'll get back to the sticker thing. So here's just one. Really cute example. Just throwing that up there. So what you'll get is 6 of these cute little images of thread milk plus 4 milk cap. Thread milk's mixed in, so there's still a thread milk cap theme for your thread milk. And they'll come on the ring with a ribbon and a couple of charms. And I'll announce when those will be available and for sale soon. So if you have your threads on these cute little pieces, you may not want to keep a pink on an Easter thread milk forever, right? Just like when you have cute little floss tags that are Christmas, you might want to, when you're done stitching that project, put them away and store them, say for those of you who have everything on thread milk, milk caps, you might want to not have them on a Christmas milk cap anymore. Or when you run out, you might want to use it for a different colored thread. So I kept thinking in my mind, what's the best way to do this? And I saw this on somebody's FlossTube or Instagram this week, and then I remembered Michelle's stickers that she put on the back of mine. So instead of writing on your holiday thread milk like I do here, you can use these stickers. Do you want to show them the picture?
It's right there.
All right, okay, because you're knitting. You keep knitting. So these are a tiny little sticker, and notice right here they're called removable. Multi-use labels that are removable. So that means you can write the number on these little stickers for your Easter project or your Christmas project of your Christmas thread milk. And then when you're done with that project and you want to do a different Easter project that may have different threads, you take the sticker off and you kit your next project and put the new sticker number on there. So these are, not marked forever.
That's fun.
And they're just totally reusable from holiday to holiday. So from year to year, you can use these on your thread milk, and they come off really nice. So there you go with that. That answered organization for me. Like I sometimes don't use the holiday ones that I sell you guys because I'm just like, I just mark them and move on, right? And get another batch for the next project. Anyway, I hope that helps you kind of like decide how to use and reuse your holiday thread milk. All right, I have had viewers ask me about the rings that I hang all my thread on in my closet. And at first, I started out with this ring. And it doesn't open. Wait, is this an openable one? No, it doesn't open. So you have to slide this on the rod and then put others on, and then it's there. So if you're doing things in alphabetical order or numerical order with your threads, which is what I do, so that I can find things really easy, you can't take these on and off the rod. So then I still have a ton of stuff on these rings, but then I moved on to these little S hooks. And then I can just insert these here, here or here on my rod, and they hang the same length. And of course, these are just little curtain hanger things that you find on Amazon, and I will do the links for these too, because I have been asked often enough about them. So a viewer was asking me about these last video, and I was going back into my history of purchases on Amazon and found the 2 links for her, but I came across this one. So this is these binder rings. Is that what they're called? Yeah, they're binder rings that you know, can binder stuff with.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's also similar to binders.
mm-hmm.
The little clips in there.
Yes. So apparently somebody came up with the great idea. Well, let's do it for curtain rods, like shower curtains, whatever. And you can hang I think they're kind of small for hanging curtains, but you know, once you spread the weight out over several of them, I'm sure they can hang curtains. But here's the cool thing. So, you know, they can slide on like this, or you can open them, and they are strong. They're very tough and well made to not come open, but they do come open.
Oh.
So they don't fall off. So they might take a little bit of tugging. I saw in the reviews that they were kind of hard, but I think that's because the product they're made out of is very heavy duty. So you just, you know, have those, and these hang at about the exact same height too. The problem with these S-hooks I found is, see, my husband, for the size rod I had, he had to open this space up a little bit for me, and if they get bumped at all, sometimes they fall off. So I'm not loving those. I think this is the new answer to hanging your thread melt. The cool thing is, so say you need to put it in alphabetical order or numerical order over on this one side, you close it up, and they hang at about the same length as these others. Because that was one thing with putting away floss tags, you know, that I got from some people, is if you leave them on those, now they're hanging like this far down, and so now you've got lengths of thread that are, you know, kind of all over the place. And for me, when I put them away, I just want them all the same length. The 18-inch stitcher's length anyway. So that's my new recommendation for rings for hanging thread milk or any sort of floss. You know, thread keeps, floss drops. And K-Feebs, we're just about done. Got the states, all this good stuff. Okay, polishing finery. Sometimes I've noticed that the finery I've made and sell, or that I buy from other people, it's not real silver. Like, some of the stuff can tarnish. It depends on the make of the alloy or the metals that they are made out of. What I've noticed, that I don't know if you guys have a polishing cloth like for your jewelry or silver or things like that, but it works really good on your finery. So if it bugs you that it's tarnished, that's how you can clean it. Otherwise, yeah, it's really good for silver.
Mm-hmm. I
really do like mine, but you know, with your finery, within your thread stuff, you may not even want to worry about it. Okay, last thing. This is just kind of a thought for the day, and then we will be done, right? Oh, I didn't show you any whips. Because it's running long, I'm going to show you one whip that I think you'll enjoy. And then we'll talk about the thought for the day. So I wanted to do some Valentine stitching that was just a little bit different, but at the same time could be left out all the time. And I pulled out this chart, which I know a lot of you know, Token of Love. And it just occurred to me, because I bought a piece of Aztec red at Shepherd's Bush. Isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Linen. That it would be really pretty to do Token of Love on red with white thread. So here's where onion skin comes in. So I pulled out onion skin, and 3777 and 3777 matches Aztec red like perfectly. So Classic Colorworks does onion skin. And look how pretty it looks on there. It's not like a regular white or cream on this Aztec red. It's kind of a tan. I really like it.
You see?
Like it's just very warm.
Oh yeah.
And yummy. So that's one of those stitches I thought you guys would really like to see done in the reverse. The red and the white reversed. But then I was going through my Ooh La La, since we've got some French going on today in this episode. I was going through this a couple weeks ago by Blackbird Designs and came across, it doesn't even, and I got looking at the cover, it doesn't even show it on the cover or on the back. The inside here is called a little teeny stitch called a little bit French, sorry. And there's the antique. Tell me if you can see that over there, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little lower.
Lower.
There you go.
Such a cute, teeny little sampler. It's 77 by 73. That's only like 20 stitches bigger than the 50 States pillows. So tiny. And look how they finished it. And this is not shown on the outside. So if you bought this book, you may not even know this is in here. Yeah, it doesn't even show the sampler on the front or the back cover. So they have finished it into a pin roll. And the name that's on it is OS Stuck. Anyway, I had a piece of Mummy that I just started stitching it with the 377 on. And look how like stained, almost like blood stained this stuff looks, this linen. So that's going to be made into a pin roll, and it's going to sit next to my token of love in a bowl. And that really is what I'm working on. I have been working on a few snowman stitches. I don't have a lot of snowman winter decor because I usually go from Santa Clauses at Christmas straight into Valentine's. So I've never really gotten into snowmen. But Sandy inspired me because she had some really cute snowman stitches. So I have done some snowman finishes. One in particular, okay, I'll show you really quick, is called Winter Trifles by Shepherd's Bush.
Oh.
Aren't they cute?
Is it called a whip because it's a work in progress?
Yes.
Nice.
Just got it.
I just figured that out.
You just got it. So yeah, if you want this kitted up, call Shepherd's Bush. It's called Winter Trifles. And sorry, there's a button kit for it. And you know me, I'm not a big, like, let's put buttons on everything. But, did you see this one? So you hold that one up. And then their carrot noses are beads. So there's a bead pack you can buy for this too. There's some petite Millhouse beads. How cute are those?
There's a little bird button.
Right there. And a snowflake. Can you see the snowflake? Right here.
Focus. There you go.
There. So those will be really cute. This is Tarnish by Picture This Plus, and I did these on 36 count. Shepherd's Bush also has this sparkly, glittery linen. They'll know which one it is. I don't know what it's called. Oh, can you see the sparkles? Oh, there just a little bit. So it's a snowflake, and it's a pretty snowflake. Love it. So, yeah. Those are almost done. So before I sew buttons and beads on, I always put Stacy or SF101 on the back, and then I sew them on. I just feel like it stabilizes. And I'm going to put that on anyway to put the sawdust when I pack them with sawdust. I've done it both ways, with or without the liner, and I like it better with the liner. That's just a personal choice or preference thing. Don't think you have to do it. It's just up to you. Yeah, so those are almost done. About to be finishes. And, oh, okay, sorry. There's one more I have to show. Oh, because of Kay Goldman, sharing this chart on Instagram, and this is a new to me designer. It's right, Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This looks like
like
TV.
needlepoint.
Right? It looks like needlepoint. I don't know that the original was. I think it was cross stitch. But it's a reproduction by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. And when we moved into this house, we actually have a couple of chairs sitting out here. My husband has a footrest recliner chair, but mine's just a wingback chair that I actually need a footstool for, so I can, relieve my back. You have to do that as a stitcher. You got to put your feet up a little bit. So I have wood and even a stool kit that Sandy gave me. But when I saw this, I was just like, that's my footstool. I have to do that. Well, this is teeny tiny linen. And I thought, well, if I put it on a bigger like claustern, it would be so cool. It would look a little more like needlepoint. Even though it's cross stitch, I'll still do it in a cross stitch pattern. So I went to Shepherd's Bush and got a 10 count claustern in this color, which looks a lot like needlepoint background, right? And then I took the DMC list and got all the DMCs in the number 5 pearl cotton. And I made a couple substitutions with the Weeks Dye Works number 5 pearl cotton too, just because there were a couple of them that that were just kind of like super bright, so I toned them down a little bit. Or there were some that they just didn't have, so I had to find a substitute too for that. But here is the threads on that claustern for that bird. And yeah, it doesn't take a lot of thread, so I'm going to have a lot of leftover threads on this one. Probably enough for you to do it if you want, Phoebe.
Yeah.
But they're just gorgeous. So that's my kind of what I'm obsessed with project. And then some other stuff is just, I just want to do more Valentine and more red work stuff, like all red stitching. Because it's that time of year, it's February. Cool. Yeah. All right, so we're going to wind it up. So here's our stories. So as stitchers, and I think Phoebe knows this, we binge watch stuff. And when your husband's gone, like mine is, that's what you do while he's gone. I mean, I design, I stitch, I work, I ship stuff. I do all that too. But when you got, at the end of the day, you got to sit down. And I found my friend Sandy, of course, again, told me about some really good ones that I've watched, like Victoria on Masterpiece and PBS. Loved that series. It was wonderful. And then because I watched that one, it recommended John Adams. No, wait, this was a whole, well, I don't know. Do they cross-reference on different channels recommendations? We got a smart TV for Christmas.
So maybe, yeah.
Maybe it did with my Google login. Now it knows everything we watch, no matter what channel. Anyway, I was watching HBO Max because sometimes there's some really good stuff on there. Meaning HBO kind of has its own kind of movies, that aren't always... Reputation. They have a reputation. But sometimes they have the indie movies that are just wonderful, that we love watching, that are good, clean, beautiful, humanity story pieces that we just love. Anyway, came across one that it recommended called John Adams, and I didn't watch anything in between all of the episodes because it was so good. It's a historic drama piece or series that Tom Hanks did through his Playtone production.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was super interested because I thought, ooh, if Tom Hanks did it, I mean, I'm a fan. He does some great movies. And he has a very good production list. Like that thing you do. We pretty much raised our kids on that movie.
Yeah.
So I started watching it, couldn't stop. There is a scene in the first one. It's a tar and feathering scene. I'm just going to warn you up front. Just, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But it helped me understand also, though, what that's like and how drastic that is and what a torturous type thing it was to do someone just because you hated them or you were bothered by their life. It's a terrible thing. I mean, I think you should, well, we won't go into that. Anyway, that's the only thing in this whole series that's, shocking. Otherwise, it was beautifully informative. I highly recommend it. My next freebie is inspired by the John Adams life. And something that happens the last episode, you will cry, you will be moved, and it's just a beautiful piece. Maybe some of you have seen it. I know a couple of my friends had. I'd never even heard of it or seen it, anything about it. So I highly recommend it. But yes, the next freebie is inspired by that. Then the other movie that just popped up Friday night was the Cokeville Miracle, which took place. It's a true story based on a true story that happened right here in, not Utah, but on the border in Wyoming, on the Utah-Wyoming border. And it was a bit of a, in-country or in-house terrorist attack. So it was a guy who was angry at a city that he used to work for and took it out on an elementary school. True story. Highly recommend it. And the reason I'm recommending that to you tonight is because I have had viewers reach out to me. I know I posted a couple months ago about my friend Cammie's husband, Tom, who got in the horrible car accident. And I reached out to you because of a request from her to pray for him. And you all so willingly did. So, and, it's amazing how life works that way. And we have that common ground, no matter what our religion is, right? Mm-hmm. There's a need to pray, and there's strength in numbers. And I just want you to know today on this video that I really, really appreciate that. And she really appreciates all of the thoughts and prayers that everyone so willingly gave. Mm-hmm. So prayer and the Cokeville Miracle. If you don't, if you just need some more strengthening of the miracles that can happen through prayer, go watch that one. So I've struggled with, during COVID, going from a few years back, being able to do a lot of service, like at church and different things. We did a lot of that back when you guys were in high school in Louisiana. It was like every day was a church day, practically. And now that COVID's happened, and I seriously, don't go to church very often. I watch it at home. And I think we all probably kind of have struggled with this. I feel like we've had a break, right? Mm-hmm. Had a break from service, had a break from a lot of that kind of thing that we used to do in that interaction. But after I watched Cokeville Miracle, I realized how important actually the service, how big of a service the act of prayer is. And how, if that's all you can do, because you're at home or you're homebound, or you don't get to go out very much, or you can't go out very much, or feel more comfortable just at home, that is an act of service that's actually unsurmountable. Right? It just came to me that night when I was watching it, you know what? My prayers are probably the biggest act of service I could ever do in my whole entire life. So, and when you've seen miracles through prayer, I guess it means even more, and you kind of build your belief in that. So once again, thank you so, so much. Tom is striving. He didn't have any sort of spinal cord rupture or break or anything like that, but he still had damage. And they've assessed it into 2 different types. So he's having mobility issues, speech. His speech is getting better. They took his feeding tube out. He's breathing on his own, but he's got a long road ahead of him of physical therapy because he can't walk. And he's just having trouble with one arm or one leg that are a lot worse than the other. And they have they're selling their home here, moving in with her parents in Phoenix to get him a really good rehab place down there. And they live on 1 story. So she gave that update today on Facebook. And if you want to follow her, I mean, seriously, if you want, I have had people reach out to me and say, how is Tom doing? If you want to follow Cami, it's Cami, Cammi Garner, Garner, on Facebook and Instagram. And she has, because so many people are just wanting to pray for him still and know if he's doing okay, you can go follow her. And I know she'll be more than happy with that. And she'll give you better information than I will, because I'm not there. I'm not the one who's experiencing the whole thing and living it. So that's a wrap. Cool, Phoebe. Thanks
A show
so much.
that I recommend
Oh yeah,
is Archive 81 on Netflix. I watched it all within like 2 or 3 days. It's very scary, but it's also like a mystery podcast type feel.
and it's next on my list because I kind of like some weird stuff like that once in a while. And it's Archive, Archive 81.
81.
Okay.
Really good.
So if you want a little bit of thriller, that'd be so fun too. All right. Surprise video with Phoebe. I'm so glad she came over today. Love you, darling.
Love you, Mom.
Bye, FlossTube. Have
Bye.
a good stitchy time.